Hi everyone, today we have a new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh release from ICM. It is made in 135 scale, and what we get here it's the truck model with the figurines. So as you can see, it's a ZiL-131 with DShKMd, and also we have here the crew included. So those are the figurines which you can see in the rear section. All of them are molded in 35 scale, what makes it quite an interesting choice for some diorama build. Obviously the stand is not included, but once you include some stand, it should be quite a good scene. And of course, what I have here on the table, that's the final shape of this release. It means nothing will change if you order it from any good model shop, for example Modelimex. So just search for the kit number 35017 and you'll be getting this large box. So first of all, the box art is quite nice here, and here you can see comparison with my hand. Then here on the side you can see also some information about the kit, and we have here 230 parts for the truck, and also 22 parts for assembly of the two figurines and 40 parts for assembly of the machine gun, which will be installed in the rear section. So this is quite a parts count, I would say. And here we have quite a simple profile for what you can copy with this plastic, but obviously there should be some marking guide in this kit, so this we'll check a bit later. Now I need to cut through this plastic seal so that I can show you what is actually included here, so just give me a second and we will check everything together. So a moment. Of course, I can remind you that you can check some other interesting tracks from ICM on the same YouTube channel. I have plenty of the reviews, even with some older kits, so they are definitely worth checking. And by the way, it's also worth reminding that here we have the, I would say, already classic box structure for ICM. It means that we have all parts secured with this box, and this is really handy because I haven't had a case when the parts arrived to me actually damaged. And it means that, at least in my opinion, this box is very good in protecting the parts from possible damage. So, we have the sprues separated into two plastic bags. As you can guess, one is dedicated to the machine gun and figurines, and another one is dedicated to the truck parts. So we start with the figurines, and that's why we will zoom in a bit. And as you can see here, we have, I would say, classic parts division and overall design for 135 scale. It means separate legs, one-piece torso. Also, we have here separate hands, and of course the head is molded separately as well. Note that in this case, the head is molded together with the helmet, so it might be a bit tricky to paint these guys, but I think it's doable. And overall, the sculpting quality here looks fine. What is also worth remembering is that we do not have the guiding pins here, so even though the poses are predefined, it means that you have to somehow align those parts to avoid the toy soldier appearance, so that's why pay attention to how they will be fitting together. And now I'm a bit confused because we had two figurines. On the box it was written two figurines, on the box art it was also written two figurines, but then we get another guy here. So this is really strange. In total we have three figurines, and as you can see, this one is designed in a slightly different way because we have the helmet molded separately and we have slightly different position as well. This is the one which was standing with the binoculars in the hand, so you can see them here. And I guess the previous guy can be also handy for some additional ideas, maybe standing next to the truck, not in the rear section. Next, we continue with the sprue, which is dedicated to the weapons, and this is also quite a handy thing because all of these rifles, they are looking quite good, and I think it's quite obvious that you don't have to use everything at once, so they might be handy for some future build ideas, and that's why it's always good to have some, let's say, extra bonuses in the box. As for the DShKMd, so you can see it here. And it should be assembled out of several parts, but this is not a difficult procedure, so do not worry about this. It's more about the paint work, because I think it will be one of the things which are attracting attention on the final version or final build of the truck, so that's why it is important to get a bit more convincing paint work as well. So let's move this one to the side, and we will continue with another set of sprues. So for example, here we have the truck parts, obviously. So let's zoom out because otherwise this frame does not fit into the video. So as you can see, these are the front cap parts. We have quite nice parts division because it will help you to avoid any unnecessary gaps in the visible areas. We also have the bonnet molded separately, and this will be handy because as far as I remember, this kit features the engine part, so this is quite good. And of course we should also get the separate doors there, so you can open them as well. And in case you will buy the, I think ICM has the driver figurines, so then it will be handy. Next we continue with the vinyl tires. This is something what I am not a huge fan of, and I think for ZiL you can find really decent replacements which will be noticeable on the finished build as well, so definitely check them out. Next we continue here with the wheel rims, and these ones are looking great. And here the only thing you have to add is this small part on the top, but that's pretty much all. And obviously you have to combine them with the vinyl tires, but this is also a quick thing to do. Next sprue is more concerned with the small and thin parts. So here, as you can see, we have the steering wheel, we also have the exhaust, and we have some of the parts for the seats. So again, the thin parts are better to be separated with the plastic saw. At least this is what I'm using usually, because with the plastic cutter you can end up with the broken parts. And so it's better to be careful and separate it with the proper tools. So definitely think about it once you will be doing this. Next, we have the parts for the rear bed, and as you can see here we have the wooden panels. Well, they are wooden on the rear track. Here, as you can see, we don't have any wooden texture or any other thing which will hint on this, but you can replicate it with the weathering obviously, and again maybe the paintwork will help you as well. As you can see from the opposite side we have some guiding elements, so this will help you align the parts properly. And next we have the clear plastic sprue, which is packed into the separate plastic bag. So just give me a second to find how it should be opened, because the flap is so small it's really hard to notice on the part. But I finally found it, and here it is. So the clear plastic sprue looks fine, and the molding quality looks great as well. I only wonder if we get the masking templates, which are sometimes appearing in ICM kits, so I hope this one will not be an exclusion. And the last but not the least, it's actually, I think, the biggest sprue in this kit. If I zoom out, you can see what we are talking about here. So we have the main chassis bars here. We have also the engine and the gearbox, the wheel axles, the fuel tanks, and maybe even some bumper parts. All of this stuff is included here, and this is really nice. I think for 1/35 scale, it's always great to get as many features as it is possible. And then it will be up to you to decide which one you would like to expose on your truck. So next we have two decal sheets in this kit. First one is rather large because here we get the digital camouflage sections, and this is definitely a good thing for modelers who don't want to waste their time with the masking and other things. So here you just get the ready-made segments of the camouflage, and this will speed up the paintwork considerably, I would say. Next we also have the small decal sheet, so these are the license plates and also the dials for the instrument panel, but the printing quality looks great, so here I don't have anything to add. And last but not the least is the assembly manual. So here I am zooming out a bit more, and now you can see what we will be talking about here. As you can see, this is the short history note, and also we have the paint chart. Next we continue with the parts map, and red color obviously means that these parts will not be used. As you can see, one figurine is actually not used, but obviously nobody stops you from assembling this guy. And the whole process starts with the main chassis. I'm just looking how it's getting together, because here, for example, you can see the whole page dedicated to the engine. It might be also a good idea to copy some wiring on the rear track, but for this you need some reference photos, because you need to understand how it is actually placed on the chassis. So here we continue with the road wheels being installed, the spare wheel being installed as well, obviously behind the front cap, and then the assembly of the cab itself starts. So as you can see, there are a lot of panels to combine together. Definitely check their alignment, because it will be quite important. The same applies for the rear bed, and also we have some few things to be included for the wheel fenders, we also installed the bonnet panel, and note that it's not mentioned here that you can open it, even though it's modded separately. Then we build or assemble the machine gun, and here we continue with some final steps by installing it in the rear bed. And here you can see one marking option, and also the marking guide for the figurines, which is rather strange, but as long as we have the digital camouflage decals, I think you can replicate something else as well. It will be already your choice, especially if you have some reference material from the real trucks. And this kit should be already available in Modelimex together with other novelties from ICM, and of course I will be happy to hear your opinion. So what do you think about this release? Write it here in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.